Hi, everyone. Sorry. Apparently I was choking. Hi, everyone. This is Poorman973, and happy Halloween! Did not buy a new Halloween costume, so I figured I'd just get in my old one from last year when I was dressed as Cinderella. So I've got my... here, I'll back up and show everyone my pretty dress. Let me tell you, I'm actually falling out the seat because the fabric of this thing is made out of. I keep slipping forward. And look at this. I've gone from no hair to lots of hair. So, today, we are going to be playing a game that I started quite some time ago. It's a game called Corpse Factory. See, there it is. You guys can't see the title, but it's called Corpse Factory. So, we're going to hit continue. And I think we just finished the prologue. So, I've always liked the shape of my eyes. I can be critical about other parts of my body, but I'll never complain about my eyes. With or without makeup, I think they look great. Mother used to tell me I inherited her eyes, and my big sister inherited Father's eyes. To be honest, I don't see any of Father's features in myself or my sister, but I do agree that my eyes are exact replicas of Mother's. She also was a demon. Blood red eyes. If you have blood red eyes, I'm not calling you a demon. Just, it's a common... Mother doesn't see too well anymore, and that might be something I have to also worry about in the future, but for now my eyes are perfect. I couldn't be happier with them. I wear eyeshadow and eyeliner to bring out my best features. Some people tell me I use too much makeup, and I tend to overdo it and make myself look intimidating. Well, I don't really care. I mostly like the way I look, and honestly, how many people can claim the same? Today's morning ritual is the same as any other work day. I'm a slave to the wage, and I'm not proud of it. Call me a corporate sellout, but I can't survive without money. My alarm goes off at 6 a.m., the shower is running by 6:05, and I'm dry and dressed by 6:15. I skip breakfast because I'm watching my figure, and spend until 6:30 a.m. working on my makeup. I skip breakfast, and I'm fat. Someone needs to tell this lady it doesn't work. I'm out of my cramped shoebox apartment by 6:45. Sometimes I catch my neighbor returning home from his overnight shift, and if so, exchange simple pleasantries with him and continue on my way. Today, there is no sign of my neighbor, so I don't slow down as I descend the stairs and exit the building. Hitting the convenience store for a can of coffee saps. What's a coffee sap? Can of coffee saps. Okay. Another few minutes from each day. I prefer sweet milk coffees, but every now and then I'm in the mood for rich black coffee. My head is already getting hot from this stupid wig. I'm not sure if I'm going to be wearing this too much longer. I'm going to instantly shave my head, because this is my real hair. I never start the day without it. I don't always need the energy boost, but it helps stop my stomach growling. It's a milk coffee kind of day, so I pay for my favorite brand and get out of the store in no time. The canned coffee dives into my handbag as I continue on my way. Yeah, Preston Pickle. You've never heard of it, or I've never heard of it. Are you shocked that I've never heard of it? Because I've never heard of a coffee sap. The train station is always busy in the morning, and it's usually a struggle to navigate my way to the correct platform in time for the 7:12 train. Today is no different. However, I always make it in time because my routine has been perfected over the last few months. I board the train bound for Shinjuku. I sure hope I'm saying that right. Cursory glance reveals there are no empty seats, so I push through the throng of bodies and stand against the carriage wall. Whenever there are seats available, I like to sit and read, but it's much more common to have to stand and stare at my phone screen like almost everyone else. When I do read, I read the classics: Stoker, Lovecraft, Poe, horror, Western horror, and that is my favorite genre. Western horror is? And of course, faithful translations into Japanese are also good as it gets. My English isn't nearly strong enough to read these novels in their original language. If I'm stuck staring at my phone screen, I like to stalk people online, acquaintances, or a few friends I have, lead such boring lives. They post about in the morning mundane topics all day, every day, acting like they'll shrivel up and die unless they get the attention they seek. I find their dull, tedious lives simply fascinating. From behind the safety of a glass veil, I can fulfill my voyeuristic fetishes? What? And I consume as much pointless information as I desire. Knowing every mundane tidbit of people's daily lives turns me... what the heck? I didn't think... This wasn't mentioned in the... Unlike a lot of these, I didn't, go through them kind of preliminary. Because I wanted to be... this is supposed to be a psychological horror game. This morning is the same as any other. I stare down at the phone held in my frail hand. My fingers move of their own accord, scrolling and tapping against the backlit display, pausing, pondering, pouncing on any post or picture that my pupils haven't yet consumed. Standing in the train carriage, packed to the gills with people, I can't help but feel my face getting flushed and my steamy breath escaping my lips. This is getting weird. I digest post after post, photo after photo. Why are these highlighted? Memorizing the comings and goings of every single person on my noise activity feed. I catch my breath, my breathing getting heavier. This is getting weird. Ray went to the dentist yesterday for a root canal. I don't remember this being mentioned in the... when I bought the game. But that was quite a while ago, so... This is supposed to have, murder, not... Oh, well. Mizuno, I sure hope I said that right, shared some photos of her international vacation. Kawahara objects to owning pets and thinks all animals should be free. Okay, I'm getting weird. Yes, this is supposed to be a psychological horror game. Don't do it now, I want you here. But in the first episode, the prologue, the first episode is there's an app on a phone that you go to, and you you send in somebody's picture, and they're supposed to die, and then the person who did that got a picture back of them dying, and then they fall off like a banister and die. Sorry for spoiling that, but that's how the prologue started. So this is a little strange. I clutch the collar of my shirt, knuckles whitening, knees shaking. Mom's Spaghetti. I've actually never heard that song, but isn't that... I don't know. A few people in the carriage start to move away from me, but I barely notice them. My fingers keeps going until I hit the jackpot. A new post from my coworker at my office. Tomo wannabe. She's a gal, the type with a heavy fake fan, bleached blonde hair, and questionable clothes. I hate her. Why, I love her post. This morning's update reads, Tomo 53 minutes ago. Just found Disc Corp's website. Such fake bull. Ah. Waiting to meet lemon to try it on. Take a picture of a lemon. Tomo just discovered Corpse Girl website, huh? I feel a slight squeal trying to escape my throat as my legs threaten to buckle underneath me. I can't take the excitement anymore. I have to force my phone from my hands and bury it in the bottom of my handbag. Deep breaths, Noriko, deep breaths. I need to calm down and control myself. Composure is key. I close my eyes and let a cool breath of air whistle through my slightly parted lips. Feeling a little calmer and no longer ready to explode, I analyze the information I just read. Tomo wants to try out Corpse Girl's website. That's good. That's very, very good. Rumor has it that you can visit the website and request the death of somebody you know. How and if the victim dies isn't really known to the public because of that. Some people are pretty quick to dismiss the site as a hoax. However, the most interesting part isn't how or if the victim dies, but rather what happens to the victim before they die. Supposedly the victim will receive a photo of their own corpse. How this photo exists before the victim's life is snuffed out isn't public knowledge. But the thought of this phenomena occurring is utterly intriguing. Nevertheless, the site has been gaining popularity lately, at least in certain corners of the internet. Message boards like Noise Channel and other similar sites have picked up on the rumors and like to exaggerate the website's authenticity. The fact that someone like Tomo, a rather dense, dim-witted individual, has discovered the website means that it's actually more well-known than I previously thought. It means that people are actually talking about it outside of the internet. Chances are good that Tomo will want to try it out and request the death of someone in the office, a coworker. Me, perhaps. She hates my guts as much as I hate hers. Finally, something exciting is going to happen in our dull workplace.
The next station is Shinjuku. The doors on the right side will open. Please change here for the Chuo line, the Shonan Shinjuku line, the Saikyo line.
I was just jump scared by the announcement. As the automated announcement reads through a list of connecting train lines, I get ready to disembark. The train pulls to a stop, and I contort my body around the other passengers in an attempt to exit the train. Finally free of the tangled mass of flesh, I hasten my pace and navigate through the labyrinthine... It's a labyrinth. The station's the labyrinth. Sometimes words just don't come to me. I know what they mean, I take the exit closest to my office and settle into a slower walk. I'm on time, and I never desire to reach the office any earlier than needed. It doesn't take long for the looming office tower to enter my field of vision. 32 stories of office space, all crammed into one sleek, slim tower. Paige, I think that's actually right. It is psychological horror. So, like, pressing in on your brain kind of stuff. Like, the reason I got it was because I played Doki Doki Literature Club, and this one was actually suggested to me because I had recently played Doki Doki Literature Club. And this is supposed to be another sort of in the same vein, I guess, psychological visual novel horror game. So, the name Temujin is stamped across the structure in gigantic block letters. If you're looking for this building in Shinjuku, you can't possibly miss it. Temujin carries the title of Japan's third biggest banking corporation. It's a gigantic company with other branches in Kyoto, Osaka, Sapporo, Fukuoka, I cannot pronounce that one for some reason. And a dozen smaller cities I don't even remember. I've worked here for close to 3 months now, not a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, that said, I am only a temp and all I do is data entry. I work on the 14th floor along with about 60 other junior employees, including gal girl Tomo Wannabe. I don't speak to many of my coworkers. That's the way I like it. When I reach the building, I enter through the giant double sliding doors and find myself in the familiar lobby. Comfortable couches line the walls, circling a reception desk. 4 large elevators are tucked away in a nook behind the reception desk. It's already busy this morning, though to be fair, this place is packed all the time. I avoid the crowds of sharply dressed business people, feeling a little out of place in my semi-formal shirt and skirt. See, President Pixel, I'm not sure if I'm dyslexic or not, but I read faster than my brain will say the words, and it screws up my head really badly. Ducking into a newly opened elevator, I tap my employee ID card to a backlit panel and press the button to my floor. The doors close and the elevator begins its smooth ascent. I'm surprised to find that I'm the only one traveling up. I reach my floor and listen to the soothing chime as the doors open, revealing the open layout office before me. The static drone of workspace noise fills my ears. Conversation, ringing phones, fingers tapping against keyboards, photocopiers. Why some of these words just lit up? I'm really not sure. Is it supposed to be like photocopiers? Even the steady low hum of the air conditioner contributes to the overall din. I make my way to my desk, stationed in the middle of the floor and surrounded by a dozen other individual desks. As I walk, someone taps me on the shoulder gently.
Good morning, Kurosawa.
Hi, Shinya. Shinya Fukikawa, my senior. Though he's really only a couple months older than me. He's worked here for a whole year after taking an internship straight out of senior high school. He's not an intern anymore, though I'm not quite sure of his job title.
Morning, Fujikawa.
Oh, hey, we get to hear us. This is our actual words. That's not what I sound like.
How was your commute this morning?
Fine. Same as usual.
That's good to hear. Did you read any of your novels?
He's referring to the horror books I like to read. I can tell from his tone that he doesn't exactly approve of the subject matter. I've known Shinya since junior high. We go way back, but I wouldn't exactly call us friends. However, he is the one that landed me this job, even though it's just a temporary contract. I've always had the feeling that he's a bit sweet on me. I could be way off the mark, though.
Well, I couldn't get a seat on the train today. Too hard to read while standing.
Ah, that's a shame. You, still haven't accepted my, friend request, did you know?
I have to fight the urge to roll my eyes. He's a nice guy, but we're connected on noise once before, and I had to delete him. He's super obsessed with his father's detective work, and all he ever posts about is his assumptions and theories on petty crime cases. Normally I'd find anyone on my friend list fascinating, but here's the thing. She never posts about his personal life. All he writes about is long-winded rants on boring cases. It's far beyond the amount of dullness even I can stand. I fish my phone out of my handbag and pretend that I'm looking at noise.
Oh, how about that? Looks like I don't have any incoming friend requests.
I quickly dip my phone back into my bag.
How peculiar. Well, I'll try and nudge again later.
I might not do that much. It hurts my throat.
Sure, no problem.
Well, anyway, I better get to it. Work hard today, okay?
You got it.
Shinya offers a formal bow and goes on his way. Before I can take a step towards my desk, a mocking voice whispers in my ear.
Ugh. How long are you gonna lead on sweet little Shinya?
I shiver and find Tomo Wannabe lurking right behind me, buzzing around my neck like an irritating vampire.
That poor boy really has the hots for you. When are you gonna tell him you're a cold-hearted psycho?
Listen, I'm not leading him on, and I'm no psycho.
Huh. Sounds like something a real psycho type would say, don't you reckon?
I'm not a psycho. That's what a psycho would say. Well, are you a lemon? No, I'm not a lemon. Well, that's what a lemon would say. To anybody who's seen me play Monster Prom or what I read not too long ago, you'll know what apparently I use the word lemon to describe, other than, actual lemons. Of course, this is none other than Gal Girl Tomo. I really hope I'm saying that name right. The very same brain-dead moron who posted this morning about wanting to try Corpse Girl's website. She's the kind of person that likes to stir up trouble and instigate conflict. She's had her vacant eyes on me ever since the day I first stepped in the office. She loves to torment me any chance she gets. Maybe I rubbed her the wrong way somehow, though I'm not sure what I ever did to her. Even though she's a data entry temp like me, she's worked here just a little longer than I have. Unfortunately, that means I have to defer to her as my superior in this professional environment. She knows as much and likes to take advantage of the fact as often as possible.
It's funny, you know. You don't look like the type of skank to lead on a goody-goody like Shinya.
I told you, I'm not leading him on.
Well, if you're not interested, maybe I'll take him out this weekend and tongue him at the cinema.
Gross.
Gross. Do what you want, but I doubt he's into someone with your, looks.
Oh yeah? What would you know? You think he likes your flat chest, little Miss Gothic Lolita?
Oh, Paige, I love that. Sounds like she's a big lemon. I know I should shrug off comments such as this, but and normally I would, but backing down from Tomo isn't something I can do easily.
I'll give you a tip. Guys like Shinya are smart. Clever. If you want to impress him, don't let him know your head is as full of air as your inflatable breasts.
A flash of crimson lights up Tomo's face, and she looks ready to lash out at me. A group of coworkers, juniors like us, look over to us in concern. Tomo takes a step back from me, but not before signaling a rude gesture with her fingers. A rude gesture with her fingers? Is that the OK symbol? It's not a rude gesture. It's OK in sign language.
We ain't done here, Noriko. Watch your back.
I'm trembling.
Tomo walks away, and I breathe a sigh of relief. If it wasn't for having to deal with her, I wouldn't dread coming to work every day. Anyway, I wonder what she's planning when she's planning to test out Corpse Girl website. Will she try it on me? We just fought. She's a sugarless glass of lemonade. I'm not really sure if I should be excited or scared. Either way, it will definitely be fun to find out what happens if she does try the website. I finally reach my desk and take note of the time. I was supposed to start working 5 minutes ago, so I quickly log into my computer and check today's task list. It's all standard stuff today. I need to transfer a few tables of numbers from a spreadsheet into the company's online database. When I'm done, I have to run it by a few other people, and I'm choking on my drink now. And then comment the changes, something about the server. Sorry. The work is dull and repetitive, but my salary isn't bad. On the plus side, I get to wear headphones and listen to music while I work. Dip my hand into my handbag and retrieve my headphones, my phone, a can of milk coffee, and what was it? Oh, I can't remember. It was coffee sap. A can of coffee sap and a handful of breath mints. I lay them out on my desk neatly. Slip the headphones on, plug them into my phone, hit play on my work playlist. Loud symphonic metal lovingly trashes my ears as I crack open the can of coffee and take a long sip. Personally, I'm not too fond of metal.
Okay, let's get started.
I just realized my mouse has been there the whole time. I'm sorry. I return home to my quiet, cramped apartment after work. The place is eerily silent, a stark contrast to the bustling office where I spend my days. Throwing my handbag onto the tiny coffee table, I pick up my laptop and sit on the couch. I lie back and get comfortable, letting the laptop rest on my stomach as it boots up. The welcome screen loads up, and I click a couple of times, open up my web browser, and then head to a very specific website saved in my favorites. Corpse Girl website. Revenge at your fingertips. Request to death. Fill out your victim's information and upload a photo of them. Your victim will receive a photo of their own corpse shortly before they die. Watch out! Don't be an idiot. And I think we might have read this in the first episode. Once again, like I said, if you want to go check that one out, I'm sure you can find it on my channel somewhere. I'll probably make a playlist soon, so it'll probably be pretty easy to find not too long after I'm done streaming today. A cute dancing zombie girl is animated at the top of the page. No, she's not. She's standing in the same place. Peculiar irregularity that always makes me giggle. I noticed that the page view counter at the bottom of the site is nearly the same as it was yesterday. There may have been 4 or 5 new visitors. I heave a sigh. Maybe the website isn't quite well known after all. Hi, Clara. That begs the question, how did Tomo discover it? Well, never mind that. My eyes can scan the website's contents. Alright. Say hi, Clara. Look, it's my Halloween kitty. I'm sorry. You can stay here. There you go. Sorry. Further information on the site is sparse. Brief instructions tell the user to fill in a victim's phone number and upload a photo. Aside from that, there's not much else to mention. It doesn't even ask for a name. After scanning the site, I move my mouse to the browser's address bar and click. I type a / and after the website's address, I add the word admin. I hit the enter key. A login page presents itself with empty username and password fields waiting to be filled. My fingers tap dance around the keyboard, and within moments, I'm presented with a brand new page. A blinking slab of text greets me. 1 new request. A crooked smile cracks my stony expression. Finally, someone has requested a death. Someone has asked me, Corpse Girl, to kill a victim. This is where things get exciting. I giggle and feel my cheeks flush red. This is the first request I've had for about a week. I've been logging in every evening, fingers crossed that somebody has elected a new victim for me. Today my wishes come true. I can't help but feel emotional at a time like this. My lower lip trembles and I feel tears welling up. I dab the corners of my eyes gently to avoid smudging my makeup. As I hover my mouse cursor over the View Request button, a familiar and pleasant tingling sensation surges in my chest, my stomach, my thighs. I shiver with anticipation, my hot and steamy breath beginning to fog up the laptop screen. I click the button. Request details. Today, 2:47, local time. Victim's phone. This one. Downloading image attachment. The victim's photo automatically loads on my screen. The person in front of me is a total stranger, but that's okay. It doesn't change the task set out before me. A woman, rather plain, in her early 30s. She's well dressed with minimal makeup, and she's not really putting her personality on display. It's a nice photo, better quality than some of the other images I've received in the past. In fact, the photo looks like a corporate ID picture. I wonder if it was downloaded from the company's database or website? Well, the source of the photo doesn't matter. The simple fact of the matter is that someone has made a request for this person to die. It falls on me to fulfill that request. And as Corpse Girl, I take requests very, very seriously. I have the victim's photo and I have her phone number. All I need now is to select a way for her to meet her untimely demise. I've previously thought about including an extra field on my website, an option for the user to choose the way they want their victim to die. After all, it would reduce the amount of strain on my creativity if the method was decided for me, but after careful consideration, I decided against it. Some people are sick, twisted. The cause of death could be far beyond my means and impossible to achieve. Therefore, allowing the user to define the cause of death just what isn't feasible. Instead, I'll stick to my current modus operandi. Everything depends on the quality of the victim's photo. If it's detailed and the victim's features are easily distinguishable, then I can be rather creative with the cause of death. Perhaps the victim's face suffers grotesque burns, or she has an iron stake thrust through her skull. However, if the victim's photo is low quality and doesn't provide enough detail to identify the subject, I have to resort to the default cause of death, a terrible, unlucky fall from a great height. Maybe she slips, or maybe someone stumbles into her and sends her tumbling over a rail. The end results will be the same, a swift, crushing death from on high. The victim will end up face down on the concrete, completely unrecognizable save for her clothes and accessories. It's not my favorite cause of death, but in some cases it is necessary. Regardless, it is still a valid way to fulfill the request. For now, it's time to get started. I can barely contain my excitement. I squirm against the couch, uncrossing my legs in a vain attempt to dispense the heat rising through my body. This is really odd. Taking a deep breath, I try to calm my nerves and get to work. The victim will receive a photo of her own corpse, time-stamped with the date of her death. It's Corpse Girl's signature move, my calling card, if you will. Seeing an image of one's own disfigured corpse is sure to strike fear into one's heart. And that's precisely the reason I take this step, to make the victim panic and act rashly. First thing first, I save the victim's photo to my laptop's hard drive. I store it in a folder discreetly named System Files, hidden away in the root directory of my operating system, a password encrypted directory, of course. Next, I open up my favorite image editing software and load the photo. Looking carefully at the detail in the picture, I can see that this will be a work of art. I can really go to town with this request. I minimize the software, open my web browser, and access a particular website. The database of the deceased. High resolution photographs. Please search. Use the tag function. Photographs are retrieved from external servers on request. This website does not store any image files. Popular tags: blood, male, choking, asphyxiation, morgue, accident, car, severed, funny, bathroom. The database of the deceased, the DD, as it is known on the dark web, my secret weapon, the ultimate resource for my work. The DD is a collection of countless high-resolution photographs of dead bodies, murder victims, crime scenes, suicides. If someone has died in one way or another, chances are good that some perverted individual has captured the moment in all its gory glory. Such valuable images are essential to my work. Using these photos as a base, I can edit my victim's detail into the picture. My process is simple. I start by locating the perfect corpse photo. I search the database, and in less than 2 minutes, I discover a disgustingly detailed photo of a woman with her entrails spilling from her stomach. Her face is blue, having suffocated before even having a chance to bleed to death. She's about the same age as my victim. She's of similar height and build. Finding a photograph that specifically suits my victim's features is easy thanks to the DD's excellent catalog of tags and filters. I simply search for the keyword that matches my victim's description and find a corpse that fits. Using this photo as a starting point, I digitally edit my victim's face onto the body. It's not some quick job that even a child can do. It's a painstakingly crafted work of art that would fool even the keenest eye. An hour passes, then 2, then 3. Before I know it, midnight has come and gone, but the work is nearing completion. All that remains is to add the final touches. I like to add specific, distinguishable details to the image, a personal item or accessory, clothes, makeup, you name it, I can edit it in. With personal details added, I adjust the lighting and color palette just slightly enough to make the photo truly unique. If the victim decides to reverse image search the photo and discovers that it's a forgery, all my work would be for naught. Creepy. And with that, the masterpiece is complete. Masterpiece? The masterpiece is complete. Hi, Clara. A grisly, gruesome, gratuitously gory gift for the soon-to-be departed. The victim will receive this photo of a corpse that is, for all intents and purposes, a perfect replica of her own physical form. She will open the image on her phone, and the life she once knew will crumble to pieces. My lips curl to a satisfied smirk. During my hours of work, my breathing eventually steadied, my excited nerves settled into a zen-like calm. But seeing this is one weird girl. But seeing the finished art piece now, I begin to feel my heart pounding once more. The macabre vision before me is exhilarating. Adrenaline and dopamine surges through my body, giving me a sudden head rush of bliss. To say that I'm attracted to the sight of blood and guts would be misleading. No, I'm not into that at all. The excitement stems from the thought of taking control of someone else's life, dictating their future, controlling their fate. For with the creation of this image, I have taken the victim's life into my own hands, like a puppet master pulling the strings of a marionette. By forging this convincing creation, I will compel the victim to take her own life. That's right, my own hands need not to become stained with the hands of Corpse Girl, and have never been dirtied with the blood of a victim. This is the true nature of my work. Carefully crafting corpse photos in such a way to convince the victim that their fate is already sealed, and no matter what they do, they cannot escape the death that awaits them. And the date stamped on the photo is the icing on the cake, the ultimate driving force behind the victim's choosing to end their own life. A date so near in the future, a time that has not yet occurred, a fiber of uncertainty carefully interwoven into the image that causes the victim to pause and consider the possibilities. Is this photo from the future? Is this truly my fate? How can I outrun a future that has already been pre-decided? These are the thoughts that run through a victim's mind. Despair and dread flood the senses. Overwhelming anxiety gives way to calm acceptance. This is my dead body. This is how I die. Why should I fight it? And when the victim's last vestige of resistance gently breaks, like a silk spider web being torn by a cool breeze, they finally give in. They invite their end. This is the way it will go down for this woman, this complete and total stranger. I'm confident, certain, convinced. It was a sudden spark of inspiration that guided me to begin fabricating corpse photos about a year ago. I can never quite recall exactly what it was that spawned the idea. Sometimes I get close to remembering, but the recollection dances on the edge of my mind and slips back into the darkness. Regardless, I ventured down a dark and dangerous path. I built Corpse Girl's website and invited strangers to request the deaths of people they knew. It was a sales tactic, simply a way to encourage users to submit images. I had no intention or means of ending lives. Little did I know the true power I wielded. I only intended to create corpse photos and send them to people for fun. I wanted to startle and scare some unsuspecting fools. It would be a lie to claim that I didn't get off on it. The thought of corpse shrieking in fear at the sight of their own corpse was more than delicious. It sated my budding lust. It filled a dark hole in the depths of my soul and gave me purpose. Never in a million years did I dream that one day my corpse photos would result in the death of another human being. I'll never forget her name, Rui Hanato. 20-something, slim, gorgeous, eyes that took my breath away the moment I gazed upon her portrait. She was the first person to make me feel bad about crafting hoax photos, the only person to make me feel bad about it. But I did it anyway. Corpse Girl never rejects a request. It's my conviction. I forged a beautiful rendition of her death. Thanks to some rather macabre source photos obtained via the database of the deceased, I strung Rui's corpse up in a field like a ghoulish scarecrow. The photo wasn't incredible. It was my 5th or 6th work, the 5th or 6th time a user at Corpse Girl's website requested a death. Rui Hanato died just hours after receiving the photo. I didn't know why. I didn't know if she killed herself or if someone murdered her. But I knew one thing. Rui Hanato's body, her real body, was found in a field, hanging like a scarecrow surrounded by crows. Her eyes had been gouged out of her skull, and her stiff fingers clutched her phone tightly. According to the news report, her phone displayed a familiar image, the very image I created on her corpse. When I first learned of Rui's death, I was overcome with varying emotions. I felt sick. elated, disgusted, overjoyed, depressed, aroused? Had I somehow caused her death? Was Corpse Girl responsible for taking her life? Even though my hands weren't stained with blood, I still felt responsible. A lurid truth descended upon me at that moment. Corpse Girl had the power to end lives, and the more I dwelled on that fact, the more obvious it came to me. I began to feel that power, pulsing through my veins, thrumming in my blood as my heart pumped and pounded within my chest. I can't explain how the power works, and I don't know why I have it. But somehow the corpse photos I create can compel a victim to end their own lives or compel someone else to end it for them. Rui died in the way that I envisioned. Her dead body matched the fake corpse photo I painstakingly crafted. I didn't even have to leave the safety and comfort of my apartment to ensure her death. I can read. I know I sometimes say I can't read, which is also true, but Corpse Girl's power is real, extraordinary, and I vowed to exercise that power as frequently as possible. Rui Hanato died last year. Since then, I've been chasing that rush, that thrill that comes with snuffing out a soul. It wasn't hard to grow the popularity of Corpse Girl's website after that incident. Particularly dark corners of the internet gobbled up the news with enthusiasm, and the site saw an influx of new visitors. And on a few occasions, I've even overheard people in the real world whispering about the mysterious website that lets you request a death. I've crafted corpse photos for dozens of requests, each photo more convincing and realistic than the last, thanks to my ever-evolving skills. But none of my recent attempts have been successful. Not a single person has dropped dead since Rui Hanato. I'm beginning to wonder if Corpse Girl's power has fizzled out. Or perhaps I never had any power to begin with. Maybe Rui's death was a simple fluke. Simply a fluke. A more morbid coincidence. I've spent countless hours doubting myself, doubting Corpse Girl. I've tried so hard to replicate that one success. Every time I receive a request, I do the same thing as I did in Rui Hanato's case. I edit the photo of the victim, I create a convincing corpse photo, and I timestamp it with a time of death. I send the photo to the victim, and then I leave the rest up to fate. But nothing ever comes of it. I'm not so delusional to think that in normal circumstances a simple photo would be enough to convince someone to kill themselves. And even if that photo fell into someone else's hands, it wouldn't inspire them to go out and kill the victim, of course not. However, these are no ordinary circumstances. I once activated a power beyond the ken of mortal men. I caused Rui Hanato to die by her own hand or by the hand of another. I need to find a way to manifest my power once more, to prove that I, Corpse Girl, have the power of death and destruction at my fingertips. Once a new victim perishes, I know it will pave the way to more and more deaths. My website will gain popularity and become more than just an urban myth. People will live their lives in fear, forever wondering if Corpse Girl is lurking around the next text message they receive. Yes, I can see the future I crave so clearly in my mind. I'm close to achieving my goal. I know I am. And when my dream comes true, I can finally be a mass serial killer. Alright. This is actually creeping me out now. So we've reached Tuesday. So I may end this live stream and maybe choose a different game to play. Maybe in a little bit I might go get some lunch. So maybe in half an hour or so, I think maybe I'll come back with another game. So if anyone's here wants to come join me for that one, please do. But for right now, this has been Corpse Factory. We gone through Monday. And happy Halloween! And I hope you all have a wonderful holiday and a great day.